Sok szeretettel köszöntjük a HFL TV nézőit, ahogy azt már korábban beharangoztuk, a 16. Hungarian Bowl-nak is lesz sztárvendége Tomsula személyében, aki most itt is van velem. Hi coach, it's good to have you. Are you happy that you will be able to come to Hungary for the Hungarian Bowl?
I am so happy. My family, we're all so excited. Family immigrated from Hungary, and it's always been a dream in our family to get back. With Milltown people in America, it was a little expensive for the flights.
So when we approached you, what was your first reaction?
I was totally humbled, first of all, for somebody to ask us to come join in such a big event, and obviously in Hungary. So very humbled, very excited. We are. My wife's already been on the thing, looking around, and so it's real good. I haven't told my father yet. When I tell my father, he may get emotional.
So what do you? I know you know so much about American football, but what do you know about Hungarian American football?
Well, what I know is that it was in the 90s that it really started to pick up, and I know in the last maybe the last 8 or 9 years, it's really made a push, and it's really gotten more popular. So that's what I do know about it.
So let's talk about you. When was the first time when you get to know the American football? 4, 5 years old?
Yes. I grew up in a place, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Pittsburgh has a very large Hungarian community. My grandfather actually owned a restaurant that was called the Hungarian Village. And one of our claims to fame is Zsa Zsa Gabor performed there. So that was a huge deal in the community. But that restaurant was right close to a field called Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. And that's where the Pittsburgh Steelers used to play. And a lot of history there. So I've grown up my whole life around football in that town, and obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers were a big deal, and then played it. I've been playing it since I was probably 5 years old.
So if we are talking about the restaurant, what is your favorite Hungarian food dish?
Listen. My grandmother's recipe for homemade knuckledis for the Hungarian goulash, it gives you the chills thinking about it. It's a Christmas tradition for us. Christmas Eve, we have my father. The recipe's been passed down, and so everybody makes the homemade knuckledis. Everything's made from scratch. We have we call it cabbage and noodles. We have our cabbage and noodles. Oh, it's a total Hungarian meal on Christmas Eve. And then my father has, it's a peach, a wine or a liqueur. It's a peach Hungarian drink. And my mother's always smacking him, telling him, not too much, not too much.
Yeah, it's barack pálinka.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then the desserts, my Lord, when my grandmother would make the crepes and all the different Hungarian, the food. Look at me. That's why I look like this.
So what will be the first food that you want to eat when you come to Hungary?
You know what?
Do you want us to prepare something?
I'm just going to get there and ask what I should have. I'm not going to order a thing. I'm going to have people there order for me.
Okay, but you will have to eat the soup, the second course, and then dessert as well, and drink something, maybe some pálinka and some good Hungarian wine.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the NFL, because I know everybody wants to know about that. How was coaching in the NFL for you? With a lot of teams, great players.
It was, look, I'm very fortunate to have been able to, I started my my coaching career very young in the Europe League, the NFL Europe. So we had spent a lot of time around Europe, and I was very involved in the International Player Development Program. So I was able to had great opportunities to travel all over the world, all over Europe, looking for players and identifying talent, and then setting up programs to grow the game and help develop the players and coaches to in the game. And then when I had the opportunity to join the San Francisco 49ers as a defensive line coach, that started off another step in everything, and was just so fortunate to be able to be around so many great players and coach great players, and spent a lot of time in San Francisco. Then went on to the Washington Redskins, and then finally the Dallas Cowboys. But and loved it, loved every minute of it. Obviously, it was very good to my family and our way of living and helping us that way. But the true passion was always to get back to pure football, to get back to what we're doing now, and being in Europe and working with the game from more of a ground level, grassroots, relationship-based sports, and the true pure essence of what makes us fall in love with the sport in the beginning. So this is the most exciting time for us.
So if we're talking about being a member of a coaching staff or being the head coach, I assume both are fun, but how hard is it to be a head coach in the NFL?
Well, it's obviously hard. Your job is hard. Everybody's profession, there's the good days and the bad days. And we are in sport. So sport is it's a performance-based business. And if you don't perform, you're out. And there's no apologies to that. That's just the way it is. And if you choose that path, that's the way it goes. So when you say hard, and you say stressful, and people use these words, but I think to myself, a doctor saving a life has got a lot more stress than I do winning a football game. So I think it's all relative to how people look at it. I've always looked at it as just an unbelievable opportunity, and how fortunate I've been to be able to wake up every morning and do my passion that ended up being my job.
Yeah, it's fun. Who was your favorite player?
Well, that's hard to say now, it's because then you leave a lot of guys out. But I've got different areas with that. I mean, players that I coached, I've coached so many fantastic players. And when I say players, I mean people. Probably the toughest guy I've ever coached was a guy named Justin Smith. He was just tough. I mean, he's a guy that could come over to Hungary and everybody'd be okay with him. He's tough enough to fit, but I've had some of funny guys, and there's so many different ones. I would hate to pick one. I would just say that I really haven't had any bad experiences. I've had some sad experiences, obviously, where you hope that people will figure it out and they don't. But it's just been, I've been surrounded by I've met a wonderful people along the way.
So I just want to talk about your ring. Is that from the 49ers?
Yes, that ring is an Nfc Championship Ring. It's some people call it a loser's ring, because what it means is you didn't win the Super Bowl. So the winner of the Super Bowl gets a Super Bowl ring. The loser gets the conference championship ring. So but it's nice. It's cool. I tell you, I had never worn it and we were coming back over to Europe, and my wife said, you ought to bring that over. Some of the players and the kids and some of the people, they might like to see it. So I took it out. I had to go find it, and then I took it out and brought it with us, and people have gotten a real big kick out of it. So I'm glad she told me to bring it.
So if you are in Europe, do a lot of people know who you are, what you've done in the States? No.
I mean, again, we try to keep all that. Again, you got to keep it relative. It's we're here in Dusseldorf right now with the Rhein Fire, and we were here years ago, and we've got a lot of old friends, and there's a huge following for the Rhein Fire here. So we know a lot of people from years past, and then this year with the team and how excited all the fans get. So you see a lot of people there, and there's crossover. The people that watch the games back home in the States. So it's I don't know. It's kind of an odd, it's a weird question to answer. Yeah. I mean, you see people and you say hello, and it's kind of cool.
Because we just promoted that you will come, and a lot of people were so happy, and they already asked me if they can do an interview with you when you will be here in Hungary.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we're doing this thing. I mean, we're just so excited to get there. Anything we can do, or I can do, my wife, my son, anything we can do. Number one, in Hungary, that's good, or helping football along the way and growing the game and the excitement of the game and what we want to be a part of. So anything that we can do while we're there, we'd love to do.
Do you, or would you consider any head coaching opportunities in Hungary if somebody asks you to come here?
Now, look, now you're putting me on the hot seat. Okay. Obviously Hungary is that's where my family is from. So it's very exciting just to get there and see everybody and get to experience it firsthand. Get to experience some of these. I hear about the baths in the city, and just to walk the streets that I've listened and heard about for so long, and the culture, and the people, the vibrant people that are there, just to be able to do that right now that's where the focus is, but yeah, I mean, my Lord. I mean, you're talking about Hungary, for goodness sakes. That's it, man.
So when will you tell your dad that you will come to Hungary?
We're gonna obviously, with the time change, we'll have we're gonna do a FaceTime call with him tonight, and he and my mother, and they'll be so excited.
So do you know any Hungarian words, sentences?
Yeah, none that I would have the guts to use on this interview. Okay. Again, my family, when they immigrated, they tried to assimilate to America, and went right into learning the language and the different cultural things, and so it's kind of sad that the language for me was not passed on as much. My father can speak. My grandfather, my grandmother obviously could speak, but and when I was young, I could get around it, especially in the kitchen. But now I don't know much. The ones I know, I can't use.
Yeah, Hungarian is I think it's the 5th hardest language to learn. So, but maybe at the Hungarian Bowl, I will teach you at least one sentence that you can say in any interview. So
that's what I need to have.
Okay. One more question that I think you can answer. In the NFL or in any league, still the defense is the one that can win the championship?
Yeah. You know what they say, the offense scores the points, but the defense wins the championships. And you know, the approach I've always taken in football is that when you're on the defensive side of the football, your job is to always get the ball back for the offense. The key thing in our game is scoring. I mean, you have to outscore the opponent. So you can't outscore the opponent if you don't have the football. So in a defensive mindset, it's always to get the other team stopped or get the football and get it back to your offense so that they have the opportunity to win the game. So that's the way we look at it all the time, and trying to create turnovers and trying to and making sure you can stop the run. Because if you can't stop the run, then the team can just keep churning that clock. And they can keep running that ball, and they can make the game shorter, and it gives you less opportunities on offense to score.
When you come to the Hungarian Bowl, will you watch the game with a scout's eyes as well? Maybe you can get somebody to go to Germany.
Listen, I'm always looking for players and coaches and people. Okay, so you know, that's the whole. You know, people talk about the game. The game is people. So you're always looking for quality people. And you want to surround yourself with quality people. You want to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, better than you. And to me, that's how you keep your blade sharp and you're able to continue to improve. So I try to watch football sometimes for enjoyment, but it doesn't happen. It's kind of like you watching an interview. It's your profession. So you look at it, but you're looking at it a little bit different. You're seeing how they were. And right now you're grading me. You're thinking, oh God, I wish you wouldn't move around so much. I wish you would sit still. Okay. What's with all the noise in the background? You're seeing it different than everybody else. So it is my profession. So I do look at it a little bit different.
Yeah, that's correct. So how can it be that we're talking about American football, which is based in the United States, and a lot of players and coaches who made this sport big are from Hungary? Joe Namath and guys like you.
Joe Namath is from Pittsburgh. Joe Namath grew up right up the river from where I was. He was in one steel town up from us. Okay, we talk about Joe Namath. We've also to talk about Don Shula. I mean, come on. And to me, football is a natural fit for Hungary. And the reason being is the culture in Hungary. It's tough. It's tough. The people are tough-minded people. They're built strong, and there's something to them. And they're fighters, and you know that's football, and they're built sturdy. It's a sturdy people, and that's the whole game of football is built around that. So to me, it's a very natural fit. It's you know, competing. I mean, all my Hungarian family. I mean, we can't play a game of cards without an argument, because we're all playing to win. And God help you if you start trying to cheat. You're in big trouble. You know, it's very natural to me that the game of football and Hungarian culture, it fits. It meshes very nicely.
So what is your message to the players and all the fans who are coming to the Hungarian Bowl?
Well, obviously to the players, congratulations. They They have worked through their season. They've gotten to that pinnacle game. It's a huge game. You have to earn your way into that game. And there's nothing better than when you truly earn something. So earn the right to participate in the championship game. I would tell them to enjoy it. Take a minute you got to stay focused. You got to stay on the game, but take a minute to step back and just think about where you are and what you're about to do and the game you're about to play in. Be excited about it. Enjoy it. Take it all in. But fight to win. You got to stay focused. And then for the fans, look, enjoy it. It's the top game. It's the championship game. It's the best versus the best. It's going to be great competition. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And I mean, you're in Hungary. There's going to be a party hanging around it somewhere. So enjoy that too.
Thank you very much, Coach, and see you in Budapest.
Cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. Thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you very much. Vedd meg a jegyed, és legyél ott te is az idei év legnagyobb amerikai futballmérkőzésén, a 16. Hungarian Bowlon, az új Hidegkuti Nándor stadionban. Jegyek online és a TD Store üzletében. amerikaifutball-emlékeiről.